swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You could please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
Alexis, Alexis, Krusic, Krusic.
How are you employed?
With the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
What's your position there?
Detective.
How long have you been a detective?
Over 9 years.
Prior to that, what was your rank?
Patrol deputy.
Are you assigned to any specific position within the Sheriff's Department?
I am a federally deputized task force officer with the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and I'm on the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office bomb squad as a bomb technician.
What does it mean to be a TFO with the ATF?
I assist with federal cases ranging between firearms trafficking and arson cases.
And you have federal jurisdictions as well, correct?
Yes.
How long have you been on that assignment?
Since March of 2020.
So you were working in that capacity in April of 2024?
Yes.
Did you come into contact with a 2020 blue Honda Civic in April of 2024?
Yes, April 5th.
April 5th? Mm-hmm. In what capacity?
It was originally involved in a fire, now determined to be an arson. It was towed back to the Milwaukee Police Department tow lot, the City of Milwaukee tow lot, pending processing.
Was there a license plate associated with that
There
car?
was.
What was that?
It was Wisconsin Adam Sam Paul 1711, I believe it is.
Would 1171 sound familiar?
1171.
Are you aware of who that vehicle registered to?
It listed to Sade Robinson.
At that point, you were aware that Sade Robinson was deceased, correct?
I believe at that time it was still a missing person.
Okay. Who were you with at the tow lot as it relates to your investigation surrounding this vehicle?
Milwaukee Police Department personnel, I believe it was Detective Amy Stolowski, ATF Certified Fire Investigator Ricky Hankins, and Milwaukee Police Department Bomb Technician Commander Adam Islub.
And what was your purpose in being there?
Assisting with the search of the vehicle.
I missed the last name. The bomb tech, Adam.
Islub.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, the crime lab was also present, 2 individuals,
What was the crime lab there for?
to assist with evidence collection.
Such as?
Collecting
what?
DNA swabs, they collected the items out of the vehicle, packaged them, and then they were turned over to me at the end of the day.
And you watched that happen?
Yes.
Did you observe the Honda Civic in its initial state at the tow lot before any searching began?
Yes.
And prior to your search of the car, and when I'm saying your search, I mean you and the other personnel that were there that day, did you have any information about whether or not someone else had searched the car on an earlier date?
No.
So you were the first search of this vehicle?
Yes.
Okay. Can you describe the vehicle as you initially observed it?
It had heavy fire damage to it in all areas. The trunk was still pretty intact as far as vehicle condition.
Were you able to readily identify anything in the vehicle?
There was a blanket that could be seen on the back seat, as well as a brown and black purse that was on the floor behind the front driver's seat.
That's as to the passenger compartment. Would you say that the passenger compartment was the part that sustained the heaviest fire damage?
Yes.
What about the hood and engine area?
The hood had been cut, most likely by the fire department.
Can you describe the trunk?
The trunk was still in pretty pristine condition. There was a lot of standing water still, though, in the trunk of the vehicle.
Were you able to locate any items that were ultimately collected and placed on inventory from the trunk?
From the trunk, there was a black puffy style jacket. There were light ripped jeans, like light washed ripped jeans, white tennis shoes, and tan underwear.
The underwear, was that contained on or within something?
It was on the outside of the light wash jeans.
The bag or purse that you described, was that also recovered?
It was, but not in the trunk.
Did you find any keys?
No.
Did you find any cell phones?
We found remnants of the phone camera, the steel that's on the back of an iPhone that shows the 3 circles for your camera. We were able to locate that in melted debris via X-ray.
Sorry, can you repeat the last portion of what you said?
It was located in melted debris inside of the vehicle that we were able to locate by using an X-ray system.
Thank you. Did you find any weapons?
No.
Would weapons, in theory, be detected through an X-ray system?
Yes,
Were photographs taken?
they were.
I'm not going to object to the introduction of any of these photos. It's all car photos.
Thank you. I'm showing you what's been marked exhibits 58 through 89. If you could just look through those and let me know what they are.
One at a time.
If you can just collectively look at them, identify them, and then we'll go through them one by one.
These are photos that I took during the vehicle processing.
I'd ask that exhibits 58 through 89.
They are received, and you may publish.
Showing you exhibit 58. What is that?
That is the front of the 2020 Honda Civic.
Okay, and again, this is at the tow lot, correct?
It is.
Exhibit 59.
It's the passenger side view of the Honda Civic.
Can you see fire damage to the exterior of this car?
You can.
Can you describe where?
On the front, or on the top portion of the vehicle doors.
Exhibit number 60, what is that?
The passenger rear corner overall of the Honda Civic.
Exhibit 61.
It's a front driver's side corner overall view of the Honda Civic.
Did it appear to you that there was at least some sort of front end damage to that vehicle?
Yes.
Exhibit 62, what's that?
That is an overall view of the driver's side rear back seat, showing the fleece blanket.
Okay, so the green and blue item here, this is a blanket.
Yes.
What is the yellow material there?
I believe that's part of the seat cushion.
Exhibit number 63.
It's an overall of the trunk view.
And I'm just going to have you step down off the stand and approach that. And if you could show us where, you said there was a jacket that was recovered, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. And that was a black.
Puffy winter jacket.
What else can you see in that photo that you recovered?
Can you bring the microphone as far over as you can as well? Thank you.
I believe the jeans were underneath the jacket in this.
Okay. What about Exhibit 64? Can you describe what's depicted in that photo?
The winter jacket.
Can you point to that? What else is, just in general, if you can recall, what else was in there? There are lots of things in that photo.
There's a shovel here that was in the trunk of the vehicle.
What about that item that I'm pointing to here? What does that appear to be?
A windshield wiper.
Actually, what about this item here?
Oh, that is a bed sheet.
And did you recover that?
I did.
How about Exhibit 65?
I believe this is a photo behind the front driver's seat, and the purse was in the lower area here.
Showing you Exhibit 66. What is that?
It's a black and brown purse that was located behind the front driver's seat on the floor.
Were there items that were contained in that purse that you were able to recover?
Yes.
Such as?
There was a laptop, an iPad, and some miscellaneous items. I believe there's another photo.
Showing you Exhibit number 67.
Yeah, those were some of the contents from inside of the bag.
Exhibit 68.
Additional items from inside of the bag.
Do you know what these items are?
I believe there's going to be another photo. There's paperwork with Sade Robinson's name on it.
Showing you Exhibit 69. Is that the paperwork?
It's a closer view, yes.
Exhibit number 70.
This was an apron that was located inside of the trunk with Sade's name tag on it from the Wisconsin Club.
It looks like there's some cash, like loose bills of U.S. currency.
Yes.
But Exhibit 71.
These were all of the items from that purse, all laid out.
Okay, can you describe some of the other items there?
Let's see. So there's 2 notebooks, a comb, there's 2 photos, Polaroid photos, miscellaneous paperwork, a planner over here, and a phone charging block.
Okay. Looks like some pencils and markers too.
Yes.
Showing you what's been marked Exhibit number 72. What is that?
That is an overall of the front driver's seat.
Exhibit 73.
This is a measurement that we took from the gas pedal of the vehicle to the front seat of the driver's seat.
Okay, and why did you do that?
To show the distance, because it seemed awfully far for an individual of her stature.
Okay, so at this point you were familiar with who Sade Robinson was, correct?
Yes.
Including some of her demographic information,
Yes.
such as height. Were you familiar with what she looked like?
Not before the search. No.
Okay. Showing you Exhibit number 74. What is that?
These are clothing items that were recovered from the trunk of the vehicle.
Okay, describe what we're looking at here.
There's a black, that outer winter puffy style jacket, light ripped jeans, tan underwear, and 2 pair of white tennis shoes.
The one tennis shoe is burned.
Yes.
The jeans and underwear, were they like that when you recovered them?
Yes.
So you did not place them like that?
No.
Is there anything upon looking at that strikes you as unusual?
I think looking at how these were recovered, it could be consistent with somebody assisting in the removal.
How about Exhibit number 75?
Those are a close-up of the white tennis shoes that were recovered from the trunk.
Exhibit 76?
A closer image of the light wash jeans and the underwear.
77.
A closer image of the black winter style jacket.
What is 78?
This is an overall of the interior components that were removed from the car.
From what part of the car?
All of the interior of the car.
So not the trunk, the passenger compartment?
Yes.
And was one of those items depicted in Exhibit 79?
Yes. This was recovered in melted debris that we had to pry out of.
Okay, and what is that?
We believe that is the rear part of a phone where your camera is. It's the 3 camera spots on iPhones.
And you're
Consistent with an iPhone
Okay.
15.
And you're familiar with that?
Yes.
But exhibit number 80?
That is an overall of the front passenger compartment.
And I should ask, that's the only part of a phone that you recovered in the car that was identifiable as something on a phone?
Correct.
Exhibit number 81?
So this is an item that is a stuffed animal of some sort that had an odor of gasoline on it. That was on the floorboard on the passenger side of the vehicle.
And you recovered that item?
Yes,
Why?
because it had an odor of gasoline.
Exhibit number 82?
That is an overall of the front damage on the Honda Civic.
And that doesn't appear to be fire damage, does it?
No.
Exhibit number 83?
Another overall of the damage on the front passenger quarter panel of the vehicle.
Exhibit 84?
That's a close-up of the driver's side quarter panel showing the damage on the Honda Civic.
Exhibit number 85?
That is passenger side damage to the mirror, a close-up.
Exhibit number 86?
This is another image of the measurement that we took.
So driver's side again.
Driver's side seat, yep.
Are you aware of whether or not other measurements were also taken
I
at a
believe-
later time?
Yes, there were, not by me, but there were.
Exhibit number 87?
Close-up of the measurement.
And what was the measurement, if you know?
I do not recall off the top of my head.
Exhibit 88?
And this was the measurement from the brake pedal to the front driver's seat.
And are you able to say what that was? Are you able to see?
I don't know if that's 19 inches, but
And exhibit number 89?
okay. It shows 1 feet, 20 inches for the measurement.
You can have a seat. At some point during your investigation, your portion of this investigation, the car search, were you made aware of what Sade Robinson was last seen wearing?
Yes, once I recovered the clothing, I had reached out to see what she was last seen wearing.
And what did you receive in response?
I received a still image of Sade. She was walking on a boardwalk by herself, and she was wearing light wash, ripped jeans, white tennis shoes, and a black jacket, from what I could see.
I'm showing you what's been marked exhibit 240. You can identify what that is.
This is the image that I was sent.
I'd ask that 240 be received and published.
Any objection?
No.
240s received, go ahead.
Do the jeans that Sade is wearing in that photograph appear to be the jeans that you recovered?
They do.
And what about the coat?
Also appears to be the same.
And what about her shoes?
They appear to be the same.
And what about the bag?
From what you can see in the photo, it resembles a dark style bag, but yes.
Did you recover any white tops, shirts or sweaters?
No.
the DNA, the crime lab individuals who were taking DNA swabs, did you see them taking swabs of areas like the door handles?
Yes, they did.
Okay. All right. The items that you described that we've seen photos of, those were placed on inventory, correct?
They were.
And inventory is what? Just
Property with the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
okay. Showing you what's been showing you what's been marked exhibit number 52. Can you identify what this is?
This is the stuffed animal that had the odor of the accelerant from the front passenger floorboard of the Honda Civic.
So that's what's contained in that bag, correct?
Yes,
Is it contained in something?
a paint can.
Okay. What condition is that in?
It had been to the crime lab already.
Okay. I'm asking that exhibit 52 be received.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
Showing you what's been marked exhibit number 57. What is that?
This is the brown and black purse, partially burned from the rear driver's side floorboard.
And that's already been opened, correct?
It has.
You opened that earlier today.
I did.
Can you pull out what's in it?
This is the purse that was recovered.
I'd ask that exhibit 57 be received.
Any objection?
No.
57 is received.
Showing you exhibit number 54. What is that?
These are the light wash ripped jeans with the tan underwear that were recovered from the trunk.
I'd ask that exhibit 54 be received.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
And I'd ask you to just take out the jeans. Thank you. Showing you what's been marked exhibit number 53. What is that?
This is the black puffy jacket from the trunk of the Honda Civic.
And could you open that up and show us what it contains? Thank you. Showing you exhibit 55. What is that?
These are the white Bob sneakers with burn damage recovered from the trunk.
Could you open that and take the shoes out for us?
Do you want scissors?
Probably.
Thanks.
move in exhibit number 55?
No.
Okay,
No.
move in exhibit 55.
Any objection?
No,
It's received 53 too.
I'd move in exhibit 53 as well.
I don't object to that either.
You're not objecting?
No.
It's received as well.
Showing you what's been marked exhibit 56, what is that?
This is the white-ish yellow bed sheet, partially burned, that was recovered from the trunk.
I did ask for exhibit 56 to be received.
I don't object.
It's received.
And could you open that, please?
All the way open?
No, that's okay. That was found in the trunk. You showed us where it was, right?
It was.
Okay, thank you. You testified that you didn't find any sort of top, a shirt or a sweater. Did you find a bra?
No.
Are you aware of whether or not the DNA swabs that you testified the crime lab was taking, that those were ultimately taken to the crime lab?
They were, but not by me.
I don't have anything further.
Cross?
So you were involved in other things in this case, but primarily a search of the car, right?
Correct.
And and this looks like a pretty thorough search, you were going through the trunk and the main area of the vehicle, right?
Yes.
Were there any identifiers for Maxwell Anderson in that car?
No.
Any ID cards or anything like that?
No.
There was obviously some clothing in the trunk area that you've testified to that belonged to Miss Robinson, obviously, right?
Correct.
And some measurements were done, you were present for that?
Yes.
Now, did you go to the scene of, excuse me, were you present at the scene of the burning car or no?
No.
Your investigation was done once the car had been towed back to a lot, right?
Correct.
Or maybe a building that you use.
Yes.
And do you know whether the fire department, well, by the time you got the vehicle, the fire department had already been in the car and hosed it down and opened the doors and things like that, right?
I can't speak to what they've done, but there was clear water inside the vehicle.
I mean, clearly they had put out the fire and cut open the hood and things like
Yes.
that, right? And in terms of the seat distance from how far forward or how far back it is, do you know whether the fire department moved it forward or backward as they're putting out the fire?
No, I'm not sure.
All you know is those measurements are what they are for when you have the vehicle at the lot, right?
Yes.
DNA swabs were done really throughout the vehicle, isn't that fair to say?
I
On
believe
various-
it was just the exterior.
The exterior driver's front door handle, right?
Yes.
So meaning that door handle that a driver would use to get in or out of the car was swabbed extensively.
Yes.
And exterior driver rear door handle, that was also swabbed.
Yes.
Trunk latch.
Yes.
What's a trunk latch?
How you open up the trunk of a vehicle?
Okay, so for this particular vehicle, is there a button in the back of the trunk that you would have pushed and it would have opened?
I don't recall.
Okay, it's something that a person would have to touch to open up the trunk though,
Yes.
and that was swabbed.
Yes.
And exterior passenger rear door handle,
That was done.
exterior passenger front door handle.
Yes.
So all of those things are swabbed for DNA, correct?
Yes.
And I think you just said you didn't send any of it to the lab for testing. That was somebody else's responsibility.
Correct.
You said the stuffed animal that we've talked about had an odor of gasoline on it.
Yes.
Are you a bomb technician?
I am.
Okay. What's a bomb technician?
I respond to calls of suspicious items. I respond if there's any potential for a device, anything having to do with military ordnance.
Got it. And so when you say gasoline, you're using that phrase. Are you using that in just the ordinary smell of gasoline is what you mean, right? Like anybody would smell at a gas station is what you were smelling, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's all.
State, were things still wet inside the car?
Yes, things had to be taken out of their original packaging and hung up to dry.
Nothing further.
Defense?
No.
Thank you.